Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm TFR Wilderness and this is my 11th episode of my restoration series on my G1 Ultra Magnus. So this is November, episode number 11, and you're probably thinking, whoa, what's going on? You know, he's putting the restoration video up at the beginning of the month rather than the end of the month. Well, no, that much is true. You know, the last couple of videos I've put up for this series, I usually do that in the last week or a couple of days before the end of the month. But this month, a little bit different. I decided to get on with it and do the job which I meant to do for this particular episode, and that is rebuild the the white prime, the cab unit, put it back together, because in previous episodes I'd stripped it down, I'd washed all the parts, I'd done some fixes on it, sorted out the sun fading, and now it's time to put the thing back together. And the way I've done this is that over the last week or so, on a couple of individual days, I got all the pieces out, and then I put it together sort of like a piecemeal fashion. I did film short video clips round about sort of 2 to 3 minutes, where I assembled various sections of the toy, like the feet, the legs, the lower torso, the arms, upper torso, and then I put it all together. Done a couple of minor mods to it, like I've put glazing in the cab unit, and I've done that mod on the head so that it's now got a head rotation. So I've put all the video clips together in like a 25-minute sort of montage, and that's what you're going to see now. Right, assembly's going to start with the feet. As you can see here, we've got pieces of the feet laid out. You've got left and right handed, you've got a large piece and a small piece, and you've got one screw in each. So you take the pieces, fit them together, you get your screw, and then there's one foot, and then do the other one. And there's the feet. Obviously, if it's an original G1, these parts will be die cast. The large piece will be die cast. This is the later sort of reissue of G1. It's got the plastic tyres and the lack of paint on the head sculpt, so it's got plastic feet. But anyway, that's the feet done. Right, just need to put the pin drills back onto the leg units. So get a pin, the wheel, locate it, and then drive it home. There we go, and the next one. And there we go, 2 wheels. Right, here is the next piece. It's the lower legs. We've got parts for left hand side, right hand side, and we've got the waist piece here. Now, take this up, and you have this piece which slots in to there. You then get your waist piece. Got to make sure you get it around the right way. Right, then you put your foot piece in, and then finally that goes together, and then you have the 2 long screws, and then you screw them in. There you go. There's one side. Now do the other side. Put that in. Put that in. Put that in. Add that. Put in the screws. Tighten them up. And there we have the legs. Right, something I need to do as well is to sort out the worn chrome on these pieces. So you've got the grille, got the exhaust stacks, and the headlamp bezels. I've already done these before. I've already used my Molotow liquid chrome pen to touch them up previously, but obviously I will say, although this stuff can repair damaged chrome, it takes a long time to dry effectively, and even when it's dry it's still fairly soft, so excessive handling of the parts will damage the repairs that you've done with this liquid chrome pen, and it doesn't give a mirror finish. It's kind of like a satin chrome, but it's better than nothing. It does look shiny once you've done it, so I need to do it again. So basically you just shake it up, take your top off, and then you just mark it on. Put it on sparingly, put plenty on. So I'm just trying to get hold of it. Difficult to hold it. And yeah, do this from behind the phone. Hold on a moment. Right. And there we go, one grill. Right, next we're going to assemble the lower torso. For that you need these two pieces. You need the chrome grill, and you need two small screws. So you get the waist, and you take one part of it, and it fits in. Now you have to make sure that this bit slots into here squarely, and you push that together. Then you slot in the grill piece like so. Then you take the opposite side and then again slot it into place, making sure that it all lined up properly. Like so. Clip it all together, and then insert your screws. Make sure you've got the right screw. You need a small screwdriver to do this, and then screw that up. And then screw that up, and there we have the lower torso, waist and legs together. Yeah, one of the little modifications I've wanted to do to this G1 Ultra Magnus is because it didn't come with any glazing in the front cab section, I wanted to put some in. So what I've done is I've cut out a section of thin perspex material out of this sheet here, and then I stuck it inside, and then using this metal dowel I've punched the perspex down over these two pegs and then glued it in position, and as you can see there is plastic in there now. There we go, it's now got windows in the cab section. Right, next we're going to put on the front cab piece. For that you need the die cast front cab piece, this metal plate here, and this screw here, which is it's a nice thick screw, but it's fairly short and fat, and it's unique because it's the only screw out of all the fixings that's this sort of size. So now you see the chrome piece, the back of the grille, and then there's these two slots either side, and you just slot that into there, and then you get your little clip piece. You get the metal plate located onto these two lugs, and then screw it into place, and that's the front of the cab. Right, the next parts are the forearms. Here we have all the parts you will need. The two mouldings for each side of the arm, left and right. You've got two small screws that go in each side. You have this metal pawl, little joint thing, that's the actual elbow joint. You have a small spring, and then you have the chrome headlamp bezel, which is where the robot fist plugs in for the white prime. So you take your first piece, get one of your bezels, and it sort of slots into the front. Now you get your pawl, and if you look on the inside you'll see there's a ratchet pawl in there. Plug that in, put the screw on top, the spring, sorry, and then clip it together, and then you just insert your screws, and then screw them up. And there's one arm with a working ratchet, and then just do the other one quickly. Oh no, do it the other way around.
And there we have 2 forearms. Now the upper arm units are a little bit tricky. We've got the lower arm here, and then you've got the pieces for the upper arm. Now this is the actual shoulder joint itself, and you can see it's got a ratchet pawl on it, so you put that onto there. Now unfortunately on here there was supposed to be, can't really see it, there's supposed to be like a lip sticking up, but it's sheared off, and both the ratchet pulls are the same, and because of that the shoulder ratchets don't actually work. But we'll just show you how this goes together. So you get the outer piece, you get your exhaust stack. Now on one side you'll have 2 holes, and on the other side you'll have 1. You slot the exhaust stack into there. You then get this metal plate, and then there's a slot, and it goes into there. And you can see how it goes like that. Then you get this shoulder piece. Now this has got to tuck, you see there's a little groove there. That was where this pawl was supposed to lock into place, but it's sheared off. So you have to kind of stick it into there. And then finally you've got the square piece on the end of the elbow, and then that slots into there, and that's focus. And that's pretty much the shoulder done. That's all you do. Now in order to stiffen these up, I'm going to stick a little bit of nail varnish inside. So I'm just going to put a bit of nail varnish on there. And then put this piece on top, clip it together, and then insert your screws. And there's one arm done. Next we're going to do a slight modification. Obviously here's the head, and this is the plate that it sits on. If you look, there's a little lug here. If you look in the underside of the head, there's a pin that locates onto there, and then there's a screw that goes in there, and this is where the rub symbol goes over this screw hole in the top of, when this is flipped over, this is the top of the cab, and you flip it over and there's the head. Now that head does not move. It's got a small screw in there. Now there's a number of G1 figures that are like this. They have this. I mean, G1 Grimlock's the same, but a slight modification you can do: get a knife, trim off that little peg there, put the head on. Well, you have to actually make sure it's nice and smooth, like so, and then the head rotates. So all you've got to do, put your little screw in, and just back it off a little bit, and then you've got a head rotation. So you've got modification, simple modification that gives you increased articulation on your G1 Ultra Magnus or your G1 Optimus Prime. Right, next we've got to attach the arms to the upper torso unit and assemble it. So you get an arm piece, and you get one of the torso pieces, and you slot that into there, and when you get the side, you make sure that it forms a side like that, and the same goes for this one. Right, that goes into there like that. Right, now you then turn them round so that they're facing 90 degrees, and then you get the seat piece. Now, seat piece, you see you've got this there that goes into there, and that all slots together. And then there's one of the large short screws. Goes in there like that. Now, when doing the other side, you've also got to slot in the headpiece. Now, you've got to make sure you get it round the right way, like so. Then you get this piece, and again, got that hole there, lines up with that. And then there's that little peg there, goes in there, and then it all slots together. And there's this thing at the back that's got to line up as well. And you put your screw in. And then there's a small screw that goes in here as well. Hold them two pieces together. And there we have the upper torso and arms attached. Right, not long to go now, as you can see. There's only 2 screws left, and you've got the legs and the lower torso, and then the upper rear torso. So flip that down, and then you have these here which go onto those there. Put the screws in first. Yes, it's really awkward. There we go. And then line it up. And then focus. Screw. Screw the last couple of screws down, and we're almost finished. Just got to put the wheels on. So pop on the wheel, and then you've got the metal ferrules. Put that on, and might need to use some other force to apply, to put these ferrules on. And there we have it, one completed truck cab. Now I've noticed this is a little bit flippy floppy, and there's still a bit of a yellow edge on the front of that plate there, but still it looks a hell of a lot better than what it was. So yeah, that's it. The white cab section is now back together.
Well, there you go. You saw how I put it together, and I've ended up with this. Yep, here it is. My White Prime G1 Ultra Magnus cab unit is now fully back together. It's been a while since this thing came apart, and I've got it back together. And what a difference the restoration has made to this guy. I mean, before I started, it wasn't white. Let's put it that way. It was an off-white, like a creamy white, almost yellow in places. But now that it's been done, you can see from these lights, it's looking amazingly clean and clear. I mean, obviously it hasn't got any decals on it at the moment, so, and that's the focus of next month's video. That's going to be the final part of this series, part 12, the final piece, where I'm going to put the decals on and do the final reveal of the completed figure. And then I'm also going to go through all the facts and figures of how much this restoration has cost from start to finish. Because I've been going through, keeping tabs of all the costs, and I can tell you exactly how much it's run me out to restore this thing. Yeah, and you can probably see I've got glazing. I've painted the head and give it a head rotation. So that's some of the mods that I've done. Obviously, all the joints have been sorted out. I mean, you couldn't do that with the legs before because they used to bind up. So I released some of the pressure on the springs, and now the leg ratchet's working much better. Now the chrome, I've been using my chrome pen on the chrome pieces, and I've done it, but again, they've kind of got they've gone a bit sparkly. It's like I said, the chrome pen, it's not a perfect fix. It is, if the chrome's worn off, then it can touch it in, but the chrome paint itself is kind of soft, and it doesn't wear particularly well. I don't know whether to put a clear varnish over the top would be a good way to go forwards, but yeah, so it's done. The white cab is back together, and that means next month is the final episode, as I just said. Be putting the decals on, doing the final reveal, and going down all the facts and figures. So that will be coming in December sometime. And I've been TFR Wilderness. I hope you've been enjoying this little series I've done. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.